Hello. How is everyone today? Drop where you are listening from. We're super excited to get into this today with Alex. He is the digital strategy lead for the Accelerate Growth team from Google. We have the pros from Google here to run through how to create, build, optimize, manage all of your Google ads. So, really excited to get into this today. Thank you for both being here.
Awesome. Let me share my screen here. Okay. Can all see this? Good to go.
Yes, let's get into it.
Incredible. So I appreciate that intro. Hi, everyone. My name is Alex Zabinovic. I am a digital strategy lead here at Google on the Accelerated Growth team. Super excited to be able to talk to you all today about growing through Google. Agenda itself is relatively simple. We're going to start with some slides surrounding the latest updates at Google, how you can grow your business, showing why AI is not simply a buzzword for us. This section is kind of going to be the meat of the presentation. We'll start with our new demand gen campaigns, talk about consumer behavior, and then finish with some updates on Search and Performance Max. From there, we'll move into our second portion. It's going to be about the team that I'm a part of. It's called the Accelerated Growth team. We're going to talk about what is it, what do we provide our clients, and what a partnership with our program typically looks like. Lastly, we're going to talk about how to work with the Accelerated Growth team and field any questions that you may have. So let's hop into it. So growing with Google and how Google AI and you can grow together. So back in 2015, we started using AI to promote clients' apps through our app campaigns. And since then, we've continued to use and modernize our AI-powered solutions across bidding, shopping campaigns, keywords, analytics, and more. Most recently, in the last couple of years, we've seen that AI has been interwoven with Google Analytics 4, PMax, and our AI-driven creative, to name a few things. So moving into 2023 now, and like I said, the starting point of our presentation is demand gen campaigns. So demand gen is a new ad solution that helps advertisers find and convert customers with immersive, relevant, and visual creatives that grab attention and spur action in the right moment. Power up your social media performance by tapping into the combined powerhouses of YouTube and Google to boost your impact beyond just social. There's over 3 billion monthly users across YouTube, Shorts, Discover, and Gmail. Demand gen services tailored audience-first creatives via Google AI to target those audiences. And here's an example of it across all those inventories that I just talked about. Demand gen builds upon the strengths of our existing discovery and video action campaigns, the reach of YouTube and Google's most engaging services, and the power of video and image creative service to tailored audiences, the ability to fuel the funnel by driving site traffic and actions across the customer journey. So as you can see here, there are multiple creative formats available in demand gen. It's across YouTube, Discover, Gmail. It includes various aspect ratios, single image, carousel, product-specific formats. It's very all-encompassing. And with the combination of video and image assets now in a singular campaign, demand gen offers a more immersive ad experience and helps you spark action in those moments when customers are ready to engage with your products, with your business. Any questions about those first couple slides about demand gen in general?
So I was just going to ask you kind of, from your perspective, what has been the user experience so far? What is, what are people using, I guess, in terms of what is the flock to? Is the flock to now YouTube Shorts or just YouTube in general? I guess, how is this transitioning and what kind of trends are you seeing?
Yeah, great question. So demand gen as a campaign type is currently in beta. So what it's going to encompass is all these what are currently split out campaign types. It will be available to everyone
Yeah.
in October this year. So currently in beta, but particularly what we've seen a lot of success with my specific clients at least is the YouTube Shorts inventory. We're going to get into it a little bit later, but 50 billion views on YouTube Shorts on a daily basis. So it's definitely an inventory. It's definitely a platform that's being used heavily. You know, people think about TikTok. YouTube Shorts is essentially the Google version of that. So that's where I've seen a lot of success, even just in the early stages.
Cool.
Awesome. So I want to kind of put some stats your way. I want to share a few stats kind of showing the breadth of demand gen in general. Starting with YouTube, YouTube's audience is the largest and most engaged. 84% of users 18 to 24 watch video on YouTube. That's versus 66 for Instagram, 63 for TikTok. And on average, they're going to be spending more time on YouTube than those other platforms. Right here, 46 minutes per day on YouTube versus just 37 on TikTok. Into exactly what I just talked about, YouTube Shorts continues to grow and it has surpassed 50 billion daily views globally. That's 1.6 times what we saw between April 2022 and February 2023. So in the course of less than a year, 1.6x growth on YouTube Shorts. As it pertains to YouTube in feed and in stream, 83% of respondents say when they're shopping or browsing on YouTube, they feel like they're getting the highest quality information about products. Honestly, this makes a lot of sense. As how many times have you been in the process of buying something? It could be a TV or beauty products or speakers, whatever it may be. And you go on YouTube to look for a review or a comparison. So this is pretty common. The Discovery Network, aptly named Discovery Network, saw 63% of customers discover new products or brands on Google Feeds. And among these, we saw 91% took some sort of action after discovering new products or brands on Google Feeds. So what does all of this lead to? I just threw 5, 6 stats at you. Growing demand is going to drive sales today and tomorrow. Every brand has a sales ceiling. I see it all the time, especially on a team that is surrounded by growth. At any single point in time, there's a finite amount of sales and demand for a brand. So as your business grows, it ultimately can become tapped out because creating new demand can take significantly longer than converting existing demand. Marketers have to focus on obviously both at the same time to truly maintain sales growth sustainably. And then in terms of buying behavior, obviously there's accelerated digital usage across the board. The consumer path to purchase has shifted pretty drastically as well. It's really no longer linear. Consumers can discover products and make purchases really anywhere in the funnel. So as they're streaming or scrolling or connecting across multiple touch points and channels, there is opportunity to convert at basically any point during that funnel. We're finding that about a third of consumers are spending more time making decisions and considering more brands than previously. Furthermore, it's easier than ever for consumers to change their mind about where they buy from. Right here, it says 48% of consumers are happy to make the switch for a better deal. So less brand loyalty across the board. And then conversely, if you do make it into a customer's consideration set, there's a 3 times increase in likelihood that you'll ultimately beat out the competition when a purchase is made. So all of that is to say, with all these changes in consumer behavior, it's crucial to continue to drive that demand. Naturally, for marketers, means that getting the right message in front of the right customer at the right time is a constantly moving target. Before I move into AI with a KPI focus, once again, wanted to pause. Questions from the chat. Aniston, anything?
Let's see. So you're going to get into AI a little bit, but I guess in terms of kind of building those ads, And you talked about the right message, right time, and how people are buying at different, at different points of the funnel.
Right.
What is kind of, I guess, a piece of advice or a success that you're seeing of how marketers, how brands, businesses can kind of capture audiences' attention in the right place that's optimal for them?
Mhm. Great question. So I think that it kind of goes back to driving demand as opposed to just converting on existing demand. That previous slide where I work with a lot of clients that, and we'll get into the KPIs obviously, but
Mhm.
have a very focused ROAS or a very focused CPA, and they want to scale where it's profitable and efficient at that CPA or ROAS. And what we find, and it doesn't matter if it's Google or Meta or LinkedIn, there will be a point in which you plateau.
Mhm.
And we obviously want to make sure that we're not plateauing. And how you do that is increasing the demand. So that's why demand gen, in conjunction with these lower funnel campaign types, is how we scale efficiently and continuously. So
Mhm.
if we're only focused on the lower funnel, obviously, that's the most efficient. That's what we've done in the past. There will be that point where we can't scale at the same rate. So understanding the balance between obviously demand generation and conversions. And with that being said, as I just put in the previous slide here, consumers are converting at different points during that process, more so
Mhm.
than they have in the past. So I don't want people to think about demand gen as like it's just upper funnel. We're not going to get any conversions out of it. It's just for creating demand, it's just for clicks or traffic or whatever it may be. You will have consumers that are converting at every point in the funnel. So I
Mhm.
just want to make sure that people don't just focus on lower funnel.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So let's move into AI with a KPI focus. So, as we just talked about, the online customer is constantly evolving, and manually trying to keep ahead of what a customer is doing is the most time consuming and honestly kind of impossible task, given the variables like customer behaviors, devices, time, location. And as it says on the slide here, more than 80% of advertisers are now using Google AI powered bidding to improve ad performance and save hours every week that can be invested in other strategic optimizations. So, whether the goal is to drive conversions by using something like maximize conversions or increase profit margin using maximize ROAS, smart bidding is going to flex to each user search, within the signals present at auction time. So, machine learning is going to analyze a vast number of parameters in literally milliseconds and make a decision based on your goal of either increasing sales or increasing profit. So we kind of have these built-in steering features for specific bid strategies in place, and your team and your goals remain in complete control.
So, sorry, just
Yeah,
about smart bidding, or
absolutely.
for people who, may not know what that is that helping with building, specific target audiences? Like, kind of what are the behind factors that help, you know, build these campaigns
Yeah,
using AI?
absolutely. So it's down to that main goal, right? So whether it's, like I said, increasing the amount of conversions through something like a maximize conversions bid strategy, or increasing or maximizing a ROAS through like a maximize conversion value target ROAS bid strategy, you essentially inform the campaign to say, hey, this is my end goal. I
Mhm.
want to get a conversion at 2 to 1 ROAS, or I want to get as many conversions as humanly possible. And the campaign with that bid strategy will optimize and go into those auctions based on those goals, as opposed to traditional forms, which we talked about manual. You having to adjust those targets and basically saying, well, here's what I want to pay
Mhm.
for a conversion. Here's what I want to pay for a click, whatever it may be. Very inflexible, right? It's not taking into account actual goals outside of those singular auctions. I want a cost per click of $4. Very inflexible.
Mhm.
Whereas now, with bid strategies like a maximized conversion value, like a maximized conversions, you can say, here are the goals of the actual business, not just simply here's, my cost per click that I want to maintain.
Amazing.
And that extends, we just talked about AI powered bidding strategies. That extends into AI powered campaigns. In order to be present at those key moments that we talked about in the consumer journey, all those paths to purchase, we want to make sure that we have campaigns that can be set up at the start that are truly AI powered. So both of these campaign types really should not be new to anyone utilizing Google Ads in a decent capacity here. So we have search campaigns and we have PMax campaigns. With search specifically, using broad match keywords with smart bidding, which we just talked about, to maximize conversions on relevant queries is a way of using AI to further what you're already doing. With PMax, it's keywordless AI technology, so there's no keywords associated with the campaign. You use it to further augment your search query coverage. You're expanding across new channels to drive incremental conversions. So it shows search just being on the search network. Performance Max is on the search network, on YouTube, it's on Discover Network, it's on Maps, it's across the board. So specifically for search, what are the benefits of using broad match in smart bidding campaigns? So you save time by spending less time on creating and managing extensive keyword lists. You're more relevant by pulling in more relevant signals for a better match to the intent of each query of each consumer, and you're more efficient. As it says here, 20% increase in conversions, 19% increase in conversion value, and a 15% increase in revenue across the board at the same CPA or ROAS. And then all that works well with conjunction to PMax as well. So PMax launched a couple of years ago. What we were saying at the time and what we had seen when it was in beta is a 13% incremental conversion uplift at a similar cost per action. And now, after 2 years of data, PMax is seeing about an 18% conversion uplift. So that's when PMax is running in conjunction with other campaign types, search being an example of that.
Mhm.
So in summation, PMax and search are better with AI, and naturally so is your business. So the same Google AI that's already powering many of our ad solutions is helping marketers simplify and make sense of the complex landscape that we just talked about. With Google AI, your teams can connect with customers at scale, wherever they are, and no matter how unpredictable their behaviors are. For example, we just talked about broad match. You can uncover new opportunities by matching customer searches based on meeting, not just the exact keywords that people are searching. Whereas demand gen, what we started the presentation with, can find consumers that didn't even know your brand existed. And then with Google AI, your team can drive reliable, solid ROI and unlock your next wave of growth. Now we are going to get into a little bit about my team. Once again, I want to pause and see if there are any questions. Ask in the
Great.
chat.
We've had a few questions in the chat. I'm going to share them really fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this one is, we're not going to run through kind of how to build them, but I guess this one is more general of they're starting from scratch, building ads, finding the right spots to the market. Any advice that you can kind of guide them through this?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say it would depend entirely on the industry in which you're in. So I would start with the goals that you have. What we talked about a couple slides ago. Are we trying to get more conversions? Is it volume focused? Are we trying to get conversions, but only at an efficiency metric? Are we trying to do something more upper funnel? Just get clicks, just get traffic, just get awareness. It starts there. So once we solidify our goals, we can work back into the campaign type that would make the most sense. So if it is something that is lower funnel, conversion focused, I would say search is a great choice, right? So then taking that, how do we actually build the ads and find the right spots to market? That's when it depends on your industry. So from there, you have options of, let's say, a branded campaign. If you have any sort of brand awareness, non-branded campaigns. So if you are in an industry in which you want to be, let's say, selling jackets, right? You would have non-branded terms in which you would build those out and have a campaign targeting basically what you sell, or something also automated called dynamic search ads. So you could do something like that where essentially you put in your website and Google will create a campaign in which there are specific keywords that are being pulled from your website, what is relevant to your business, and then it serves those specific keywords. So all of that is to say, I know that was a long-winded answer, but start with your goals and then work back from there. So goals, campaign type, and then targeting.
Perfect. Okay, and then someone else asked, any differences with service-based businesses versus product-based businesses when it comes to
Definitely.
this?
Yeah, definitely. So I would say the biggest thing there would be targeting. Once again, it relates to your goals. Product-based businesses, so you're going to have your standard conversion actions are going to be like a purchase, right? We'll use the jacket example. I sell winter jackets. That is my product. Basically, I'm going to have that purchase as my main conversion action. Versus service-based businesses, usually, especially if we're talking lead gen, we're going to have multiple parts of the funnel that will affect which campaigns we set up, which campaigns we utilize pretty drastically. An example of that would be, let's talk about like Performance Max. Performance Max with the main shopping component to it would be great for product-based companies. Whereas for service-based companies, Performance Max may not work as well, may not get the same conversion that you'd see for something that is lower funnel. So all that, once again, to say, yes, there are main differences, and it starts with your primary conversion actions.
Awesome. Okay, and then the last one, I want to throw this up there. Maybe we can share some, if you guys have any, blogs or videos or anything, just kind of resources of, I think a lot of people are struggling with creating ads and structuring campaigns from scratch by themselves. So yeah, I mean, obviously, you kind of just ran through some of the basic steps,
Yeah.
but I don't know if we want to share, if you guys have any resources. I know that we can share some blog posts on our end too, but
Yeah, I think in terms of something that would be externally shareable, the Google Help links, if you were to, just go on Google and search for basic Google Ads help, the help links are naturally pretty helpful. So most of them will provide a step-by-step for something like setting up a search campaign. How do we do that? Or something a little bit more complex, like I said, a dynamic search ads campaign. How do we set that up? It will have step-by-steps in those help links. So it covers the vast majority, especially for more basic questions. Now, if we're getting really in the weeds, then that would be something that you may need either your agency to answer or someone like me who works at Google.
Perfect. Okay.
Great. So let's get into the second bit of the presentation. My team here at Google. This is the Accelerated Growth team, and we are here to help you grow. Basically, what is the Accelerated Growth team? What is the Accelerated Growth program? Within Google Ads, we are a small incubation team that works with a handful of growth-oriented companies every quarter. Our team of senior consultants, we hand select a few high potential clients to join the program with the goal of generating rapid, profitable growth, typically between a 3 to 6 month period. I've put some of our strategic value adds into 4 buckets here. In terms of analytical insights, you get industry analysis, demand analysis, market evaluation, prioritization, and competitive insights. In terms of strategic support, you get strategic consultations, go-to-market strategy, growth and expansion to target markets. In terms of operational support, from me, you get new and existing campaign optimization, education of Google Ads, best practices for performance and growth, and then the performance tracking, which is typically done in a bi-weekly session with your AGT seller. And then lastly, in terms of premium access, you get access to alpha and beta products that align with your marketing goals. So perfect example is the demand gen campaigns that I talked about at the start of the call. That is currently in beta. So you would have to work with a Google seller to be signed up for that beta. Like I said, it will be available to everyone in October, but obviously getting in early is another benefit. In terms of internal support access, this is something that I hear all the time. Priority troubleshooting from us, so we can obviously raise internal support cases for any sort of policy violations, shopping feed issues, etc. And then the last would be potential graduation to a higher touch team here at Google to get continuous support. So I have a couple slides here on what the actual process looks like. So this is pre-partnership start. So every AGT partnership starts with a call we call a needs assessment. This is where we connect with either the agency or the business directly to understand, one, the business itself, analyze the potential to scale, and see whether it makes sense for both parties to partner. If that call goes well, successful, the AGT seller will extend what's called an account plan. Essentially, what that is an overview of expected strategy, spend, timeline of the partnership. This is not a contract in any way. It's simply an outline of what could be done to scale the account. The strategies in the plan are totally fluid, and it basically whatever you need to do to grow your business, whatever we feel is working, we continue with that. So we're not beholden to any strategies in the account plan, totally fluid plan. After we receive alignment on the plan, there is what we call a kickoff call, where you and your AGT seller would align on preliminary suggestions, field any questions on the account plan, and begin to process implementing overall strategies. Post-partnership. So this is once everything has been aligned. Once the partnership starts, you and your AGT partner are going to collaborate to launch initial strategies from the account plan. Throughout the process, there's going to be performance check-ins to keep up to date with account performance. Typically, this is on a bi-weekly schedule, but it really comes down to the need of the business, and your AGT partner will be flexible to your needs. No one's going to say, hey, I can't meet you this week because we're on a bi-weekly schedule. Every client that I have, we have, a different cadence. It could be bi-weekly, it could be monthly, it could be every week. It's down to the needs of the client, obviously. And then lastly is the partnership transition. Like I said, a standard AGT partnership is 90 days. Based on the results of the partnership and the customer needs, the account could be graduated to a higher team, such as like our mid-market segment. If the account does not graduate, occasionally there could also be room for a second AGT partnership. Before we get into how to apply, mostly because that's a really quick slide, any questions on that?
No, I don't think from my end, but yeah, someone asked about kind of optimization later, so maybe we'll in converting too. So maybe we'll get into that once we're done. But
okay,
yeah.
Yeah. So the last couple slides here, very simple. How to apply. So typically, it would be done through an AGT seller reaching out to a specific CID. Because this is a little bit of a different platform, exclusively for the attendees of this presentation, we have a form that will be distributed also in the email coming from this, but through this QR code as well. So once completed, we can vet your eligibility to work with the accelerated growth team. And from that, we can go into the Q&A portion.
Perfect. So I just put up the QR code for everyone. If they want to fill out the form, like Alex said, then they'll have, Google representative reach out, and you can enter in kind of your specific details of what you're looking for in campaigns. And yeah, I'm going to look at question. We had one. So Maltov said, I am running some search campaigns currently, service-based. They're getting clicks. However, I'm having trouble converting. Any tips for optimization? Would I benefit more switching to smart bidding?
Good question. So Right off the bat, I would say if you're having trouble getting actual conversions, so let's start very basic. Make sure the conversion action is set up correctly. Make sure it's recording conversions, and from there, in terms of optimization for the account itself, I would say that targeting, especially for service-based businesses, is number one. So I would start by tweaking your targeting. Because if we're not getting any conversions whatsoever or very low, I would say we're probably not targeting the right base, or we're basically hamstringing our campaign itself by doing too granular of targeting. So if that's the case and your targeting is very tight right now, I would open it slightly, or if the targeting is not there at all, I would close it slightly. And then
Yes.
would you benefit from switching to smart bidding? I would try that first. Before doing smart bidding, I would focus on who you're targeting. And like I said, making sure just before anything that conversion action is set up correctly.
Awesome. I'm going to share this too really fast. So if you guys want to try Metricool Premium 30 days for free, you can use the code Google Ads. So also make sure to scan that if you want to try any of our Metricool Premium features for free. You can also, if people don't know this, you can view your Google Ads campaigns inside of Metricool. You can also view your performance in our reporting and our analytics. So, make sure like these can really work hand in hand. So if you want to try that, give that a try. And let's see. I don't know if you guys have any campaign examples or any kind of success from other campaigns that you've run recently. If you have any to share or
Yeah. So in terms of what's externally shareable, unfortunately, one of the big things with Google is we have to get everything, vetted, go through legal, everything like that. So I can't say specifically who the customers are, or give
Mhm.
you guys specific metrics. But what I can say is one thing that I've seen, especially for smaller businesses, if you are running Performance Max, I would, and our product base as well, I should add that. I would take your products and split them out into categories, split them into their own PMax campaigns. So that's an example right off the bat of an easy optimization to get more efficient conversions and more conversions in general. So unfortunately, I can't give you guys a specific example past that of clients that I've done this with, but yeah, that's a very basic optimization for something like Performance Max if you're currently running it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, really excited for this to roll out in October and kind of see how it's going to change kind of the landscape of advertising, especially with AI, playing a bigger role in ads. I guess, how do you think that might change the landscape of
Yeah,
advertising?
yeah, that's a great question. I think it's seen so much so in a webinar like this, where we have questions about, basic optimizations to bid strategy or campaign setup. The goal of AI taking, more of a forefront in Google campaigns is to not have those questions,
Mhm.
to allow, basically lower the barrier of entry to advertisers, especially small businesses, utilizing Google Ads. You wouldn't have to think about how many keywords am I putting in? What specific keywords should I make it? Just this keyword. Should I have 10? Should I have 100? Should I have 200?
Mhm.
What bid strategy should I do? It's trying to take the work out of, setting up these campaigns and optimizing these campaigns. So I think that the future really is through AI.
Mhm.
Obviously, anyone that's been in the Google Ads game for a while went from, having no AI whatsoever, all manual, to obviously now we're pushing towards all automatic AI.
Mhm.
So it is really an interesting space to be in right now. A lot of changes, but it's very, very exciting.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it seems like making ad campaigns is going to be even easier. So people want to get on that, then, October is going to be a good month for them. All right. Well, thank you again, Alex, for joining us. This was awesome. We, are definitely want to set up another webinar with Google. Maybe we can, run through some of those specific campaigns, examples. That would be interesting to see. Maybe come October when it's out of beta and we can see more of that, how it's working. But yeah, thank you again. I
Yeah,
don't know if you have any.
just quickly, just to clarify. So for demand gen,
Mhm.
obviously that is a very AI focused campaign type currently in beta, will be out of beta in October. However, right now there's also campaign types that have an AI base as well. So we talked
Yeah.
about like dynamic search ads, a type of search campaign, or performance max. So we don't have to wait until
Yeah,
October
yeah.
to go for it. We can do it now. But yeah, I just wanted to show everyone kind of what is on the horizon.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Alex, and everyone, thank you for watching. We will be back on Friday, so make sure to tune in. But thank you again, and have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.